Hey, what's up, Ocarina of Time speedrunners? So today I have a new glitch to show you, and I figured I'd do a voiceover for it because the setup for it is a little bit complicated. So we finally figured out a way to wrong warp from the Silver Gauntlets cutscene, the cutscene that happens after you get the Silver Gauntlets and Nibiru gets abducted by Twinrova. So to start out, what you need is 3 heart containers. So I'm just using cheats in this video just because it would take forever to set this up naturally, but I did want to show the setup, so rather than just showing the results of the glitch, going through the motions and showing you what you need to do. So you need to get 3 heart pieces, and the way heart pieces work is every time you get one, 16 is added to a counter in memory, and when you reach 64, it's supposed to wrap around and add a heart to your overlay. So this is my 4th heart piece right here, but if you void out when you get it before you close the text box, the 16 gets added, so now my value is 64, but you only gain the heart after it after you close the text box. So if you notice that fucked up graphic in the pause menu, that's because I had 64 and it never wrapped. So then what you need to do is get 2 more heart pieces on top of that, and it'll continue to add 16 and never wrap here because we already skipped the part where it's supposed to wrap around to 0. And if you notice, I still have 3 hearts. I never got a full heart container. So get 2 more heart pieces, and if you notice, this one's going to be a little bit funky. The text box that comes up is a boss key text box, which is pretty weird. It's because the game never had text boxes available for what's supposed to happen on your 6th, 7th heart piece or whatever. So if you want to learn more about that, click the link in the description to Exodus's original video from 2013. So basically what we want is, I've collected enough heart containers so that the next text box I get is the type of text box that will unpause a frozen timer. So it's a timer wrong warp that we're gonna do here. So right now what I'm doing is getting the frog from King Zora, because the only timer wrong warp that actually works for this is the frog timer. So we're gonna get the timer from King Zora, or the frog from him, and then we're gonna play Serenade, warp to the Colossus, and the song is going to serve 2 purposes. 1, we need to be in Colossus for the trick to work, of course, and 2, it's going to immediately set our timer to 1, so I can easily freeze the timer at 0 by voiding out as soon as the timer hits 0. And of course I'm going to use cheats to do this just so it's fast, but there are ways to do that naturally, of course. So now my timer is frozen at 0, and certain text boxes now, if they come up, will unfreeze that timer and send me directly back to King Zora as the frog expires and turns back into the prescription. So what I'm going to do here is boomerang this heart piece and get it up on top of the Colossus with me, right in front of the chest. Now, the way to do this for real, without cheats, is to bring the boomerang just below Spirit Hover, do the hover, and then get the heart piece up onto the seam with you, and then hookshot up to this chest, and then get the heart piece from the seam up to here. So you need to boomerang the heart piece 3 times. Once onto the ground under Spirit Hover, once up to the seam after you complete Spirit Hover, and then once up here from the heart piece being on the seam. So what I'm doing right now is just getting the heart piece to be in a really particular position that's just exactly in front of the chest, but also giving me room to open the chest without actually picking up the heart piece. And the reason for this is I need to get the heart piece as soon as possible after this text box closes. And it just so happens that if you hold Z, you can press A to either roll or side hop or backflip here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll into the heart piece really quickly as soon as this text box closes, and we're going to pick it up, and the timer unfroze, and it tried to take us back to King Zora. But of course it also tried to play cutscene 1, and a cutscene wrong warp into Zora's domain brings you into the Epona's song cutscene. Now you don't actually learn the song from this because this is the second part of the cutscene after you already learn the song, but there you go. That's it. That's the trick. It's a pain in the ass, but randomly came up with the idea today, and thanks to Exodus for testing it and proving to me that it worked, and, you know, actually letting me go through the trouble of making this video. Thanks for watching.